Walmart has a bunch of new detailing tools, so you can actually go to Walmart, get all the products you need, and get professional results on your car, exterior and interior, for all your detailing needs. Things from new polishers to new packs of microfibers, and then updates to older ones. I'm very, very excited to kind of walk through this, guys. Obviously, we've heard about the polisher. I know the Fab Detailing channel did a good breakdown review of this thing. He actually took it apart, kind of looked at the grease inside, all the lubrication elements and everything else. I'm gonna give you my use case today, my personal opinion of actually using this thing. We'll jump into that, as well as the new polishing pads that they have as well. But before we do that, I wanna jump into item number 1, and that is from the Platinum. Actually, all this stuff is from the Platinum Series brand. So yeah, Platinum Series, all their microfibers. They actually make a bunch of like little brushes and drying towels. They have twist loop drying towels that I've covered in the past. But item number 1 is this guy here, the Platinum Series Interior and Exterior Steam Cleaner. Now this is a 10-piece kit. So you actually get the steam cleaner itself, funnel, measuring cup, and bonnet. That's 3 of the items. So it is what it is there. You have the bent spray nozzle. You have a little round brush. You have the fabric steamer and the tool that you can attach to that as well. So that's 2 different pieces. Then we also have the long spray nozzle and the extension hose. So really, really cool unit here, guys. This thing retails at Walmart for about $35. So phenomenal value. This actually reminds me of the Grants one that is available at Harbor right now. I did a whole review on that one. You can check that out. I'll link it up here. Now for this one personally, guys, I have not used it yet. I'm going to be using it and testing it out more and more. But as of right now, just looking at the reviews, it's kind of 50-50 on 5 stars versus 1 stars. So I don't know if there was a bad batch that may have got out, and most of the reviews were saying it didn't produce steam. And then the 5 stars were all saying it worked fantastic. So whatever it is, again, I will be testing this out more and more. But again, it's Walmart, so if you do have any issues, it's easy enough to return stuff there. So item number 1, the Platinum Series Steam Cleaner. I think it's awesome that they brought something like this in. Is it gonna be your full-blown steam cleaner where you can get everything done? No, right? This is gonna be limited capacity. It's gonna be short run time, but it's gonna be able to get the job done where you need it. So I do think that's really, really cool. From there, guys, we have the new updated microfiber on a roll. This is so absolutely cool. So they actually came out with this at Walmart, I guess a year or so ago, or a little bit more than that. But they were, I think it was a 14 by 14 or a 12 by 12 towel, which was small. It was really cool. I like the concept. I use them around the shop. I think they're fantastic. After these things came out at Walmart, the Rag Company came out with them. Autofiber came out with them. MacShine has them. A bunch of brands came out with them. They increased the GSM a little bit, or they increased the percentages of the polyester and polyamide, but still relatively the same kind of design and shape and all that. Well, these guys, kind of as soon as those ones came out, they released them at SEMA last year. These guys came out with this pack, a 15.5 by 15.5. So you're basically getting my preferred 16 by 16 inch towel on a roll, and they upgraded this thing to a 300 GSM. Incredible. So they have it, I saw 2 different colors. I saw gray and blue, both exactly the same. So let's go ahead and pop one of these open just to take a look at the towels themselves. All right, so here it is, guys, right? The coolest thing about it, pulls right off. Incredible, incredible design. And it's actually a dual density towel. One side is a little bit longer. It doesn't seem, it's not, it's not the most plush thing, but the other side is a nice tighter weave. For a towel on a roll, this is my new favorite because it's a larger towel. Absolutely, absolutely incredible. They do list these as an 87-13, I believe. Let me double check. Yes, 87% polyester, 13% polyamide, patent pending. So that these guys, I think, actually own the patent for microfibers on a roll. So really, really cool there. They were the original ones that came out with this. Again, before some of the big microfiber brands that we all know of. These guys came out with it first in Walmart, which was really cool, and now they're revolutionizing it and updating it to make it a full-size, higher quality towel. Again, it is edgeless because it just rips right off. Dual density, two colors. Now, are you gonna wanna use this on your paint work? I don't know, probably not, right? Again, if I'm doing a paint correction and coating, I'm gonna use a more premium towel, one that I know of, that I've been using in the past. But man, for interiors, for wheels, possibly for glass, I don't know if there's any linting issues, but absolutely a game changer. I love these things. I loved them when they were smaller. Now that they're on a larger roll, a huge win. And really quickly, guys, I want to grab my scale and actually take a weight measurement of this thing so we can find out what the actual, again, they're listing it at 300 grams per square meter, 300 GSM. I just want to see how accurate that is. So we're going to switch this thing over to grams. Okay, I'm going to fold up the towel and plop it on here. All right, we are coming in at 46 grams. Now, if I take that calculation and take the actual dimensions of this one, that gives us a total of 297 GSM. So very, very extremely accurate. 297 GSM is what I'm getting with my calculation. They have it listed at 300. That's completely fair. Now, next up is another new little microfiber pack, and it's a little pull pack. So you can actually just hit this, pop that open, and now you can pull your microfibers out of the pack. Again, this is going to be a thinner microfiber. There we go. Much, much thinner, right? But they advertise this thing for lint-free with no scratch edges. Use with your favorite surface cleaner before painting, priming, window tinting, and more. So, man, if it's used for window tinting and more, you're gonna wanna make sure that these aren't gonna leave any linting behind, right? So again, I haven't tested these yet, but it's a cool design. I like stuff like this and the rolls. I just like having around the shop. I have, you know, a quick microfiber that I can do cleanups with and all that kind of good stuff. This is a 30 pack. Let's go ahead and weigh this thing. Now, I don't see if they list what the GSM of these is. No, it just shows, again, 8713. And these are actually a 12 by 12. But let's go ahead and throw this on the scale. 18 grams. And that comes to 193.75 grams per square meter. So it's probably a 200 GSM towel. It's right there in that ballpark. So again, am I going to be using these all the time? No, right? I prefer a larger towel. That's why I'm so happy about the big roll that they have now. But still, fantastic item to keep. You know what's great about these is you could keep this under your seat, so you always have a pack of microfibers inside your vehicle, because this is a low enough profile that you could do that. All right, now before we get into the polisher and pads, I want to go over this pack of 40 pack microfiber towels. Now this is an updated version. You may be thinking, I've covered this before, and I've covered a pack that was the old version of this. This is now a 40 pack again. It's $2 more than it previously was. It was like 16 bucks before, now it's 18 something. However, they increased the GSM. They did it as a dual pile towel, and again, before I think there were 14 by 17 inches, which I don't like an oblong shape personally. I like it to be a square. 16 by 16 is my preferred size. These are 15.5 by 15.5. So I can't complain about that, guys. It's right there, and they're fantastic. Let me go ahead and pop this open. Once again, these are, again, an 87 by 13. 87% polyester, 13% polyamide. Now, as far as dusting or linting goes, again, I'm not sure. I have used these. I tried them out today along with the polisher on a vehicle and then cleaned up the paint with these. So I did use this on paint, guys. And I didn't have any bad results at all. It didn't scratch, didn't mar. Came out really, really good. But just so I can bring it up here, guys, you can see it's a nice long dual density on one side, nice tight weave on the other. Now there is a seam, not a seam, excuse me, but like a spot here where it looks like the fabric came out a little bit. Let's just go ahead and look at the other one, make sure that they're not all like that. And this one, nope, this one's all good. So no issues there. Again, edgeless, tagless, fantastic. Let's go ahead and weigh this thing again, guys. They're listing this as a 350 GSM towel. All right, so we're coming in at 56 grams. There you go, 361.6 GSM. So again, right in that ballpark, 350 GSM. It's accurate. Again, the 87% polyester, 13% polyamide. I'm not a microfiber expert. However, I want to know, does it really make a difference? Because when I used these things today, they were great. No issue at all. I've also used a higher pile towel that's really, really plush. But again, it's an 8713, and I was using those, and they felt great too. So I don't know. I'm going to test that more, like I said. I know there's going to be a ton of people commenting, oh, I would never use that on paint. And that's fair. And again, if I'm doing a full-blown paint correction, something like that, I'm not going to either. Paint enhancements, though, where the paint's not coming out 100% perfect anyway, am I going to do more damage than what was already there with this? I don't think so. It's not something I'm doing currently, but I'm going to be testing that out more and more. And finally, guys, last but not least, the new polisher and pads. Absolutely blown away by it. I really, really like it. So you get this polisher here, really nice little polisher. You have just a basic on and off switch. There is a little bit of a slow start to it, which I like. You're not gonna get, especially for a beginner. if you turn a polisher on and it just goes full speed right away, a lot of times as a beginner, you're forgetting to put the, kind of spread the product out, and sometimes you just leave it on there and it just flings everywhere. So slow start's nice for that. Doesn't come with any kind of bail handle or anything like that, but I don't want that. It's really easy just to palm it like this and keep everything nicely together. The portion back here gets very, very slim, and it's actually extremely comfortable to hold on to for me. It was really nice, really lightweight. When I compared, in the past video, I talked about the original MagShine M8S, the Porter Cable 7424 XP, which was like the original dual action polisher that every detailer used. And then I also compared it to the Bauer polisher available at Harbor Freight. This thing, the power rating on this thing is lower than those. However, I had zero issue with the pad stalling, and I was using it at about speed 4 out of 6, maybe 4.5 or so. And it performed perfect. I didn't have any pad stall. Again, this is a 6-inch backing plate with 6-inch pads. It's fantastic. I really, really like it. Now, when we talk about this compared to those other polishers that I just mentioned, as well as the brand new MagShine M8S V2, brand new a few years ago, it's not brand new anymore, I want to talk about the weight of this thing, because this is extremely easy to work with because of the weight. So the MagShine M8S came in at 5 pounds, 1.8 ounces. The M8S V2 came in at 5 pounds, 11 ounces. However, when I weighed that one, I stacked the cord onto it as well. I didn't on the other, so it's slightly under that. The Porter Cable came in at 5 pounds, 4 ounces, and the Bauer came in at 4 pounds, 12.7 ounces. This little guy, let's go ahead and switch this over to pounds and ounces. All right, guys, again, the cord is just off to the side because I'm not carrying that weight anyway, right? I have it over my shoulder. It's actually helping me balance out the polisher is how I use it. This thing's coming in at 3 pounds, 15.3 ounces, so significantly lighter than all the others, almost a full pound. It is a full pound less than others, but even the Bauer, which was the second lightest on this list, was 4 pounds, 12.7 ounces. This is 3 pounds, 15.3. Incredible. Like, really, if you're just getting into polishing, you want to try something out, this thing's very, very easy to work with. It's an 8mm throw, so you don't get as long of a throw. Basically what that means is, see how it spins freely, right? That's your rotation, and then it also oscillates. So it's on this gear-driven deal, so that if you're using this and it's all the speed, right? The heat that's generated from that is what potentially can cause issues in your paintwork. This, if you bog it down too much, if you push too much, it's just gonna kind of shake. It's not gonna keep that crazy spinning up. So it's much, much safer to use, to work with. And it does a phenomenal job, guys. I'm gonna show you the video of me using this thing, and I actually used it with the 6-inch polishing pad, and the pads are great too. I like them a lot. Now the polisher itself comes in at $72, and the pads come in right around $7. They're like $7.18 or something like that at my local store. Now, one thing to mention before we get into like the actual video of me using this thing is, the on-off switch on the back is very comfortable. I like that. Your thumb's right there anyway. Really good. Now, the dial, on the other hand, right back here, isn't the most easy to use. It's nice and tactile feeling. Also has the nice audible click, so I like that a lot. But it's just not the easiest. It's not a big deal at all. But again, if it was done a different way, I would prefer that, but not bad at all. The cord isn't super long. It's about 6 feet, which is fine with me. I'm always running an extension cord anyway. Just a 2-pronger. However, the cord is actually quite thin. It seems like it's decent quality. It's just a little bit thinner than I would like to see on a polisher. But again, for 72 bucks, I don't know, not a lot to complain about. It has a nice rubberized grip here on the body as well as up on the head of the unit. The only thing I would mention if someone from this brand is watching this, or someone from Walmart is watching this, is a lot of times you can put a little, there's like a nicer pad there as well, so that when you put the polisher down on the table, right, it's on a nice soft piece, and also allows it to kind of just stay put. As you can see, this one's kind of rolling, right? Not the end of the world, and it does sit here. So that will get damaged over time. Again, not the end of the world, but just a few points that I would make a note of for, if you're gonna make a version 2 of this, I would recommend those things. Now, last but not least, guys, let's talk about the pads. They actually have a compounding pad, they have a polishing pad, and then a finishing pad. Honestly, a lot of times when I'm using a polisher for an enhancement, I'm sticking to the polishing pad, and I'm using an all-in-one type product. I actually use the Speed Shine from Kokemi's blue bottle line, which works fantastic. It's polish and protection in one, works really, really well. There's a lot of lubrication in it, so it takes a little bit more to wipe up, but it does wipe up very, very easily and doesn't dry in and doesn't dust a lot. It's a really, really great product as well. But these things are great. 6-inch pads. They have this little design on them and then a Velcro backing, right? It's a nice thick pad and the memory to them, it's I don't know, again, I'm not a pad expert, but this feels like a quality pad to me. If you compare this to something like one of the Rupes pads, which I absolutely love, we've got some used ones here. And again, the density of the pad, so this is a finishing pad from Rupes. This is definitely stronger than that. This is their polishing pad. Very close. So one thing I do want to note is with the Rupes pad, it does seem to have much more rebound. You see how I'll compress it, pops right back quickly, versus this one takes a little bit more time. Okay? Does that actually make a difference? I don't know. But I have to say, when using these pads, I was pleasantly surprised. They worked great. Now, again, like I said, I only used the polishing pad, but the compounding pad feels great as well. The Velcro backing, I don't know. Over time with heat, is the Velcro gonna, or the backing piece here gonna separate? That is a problem with some polishers over time, or sorry, pads over time. I don't know, I haven't played with it enough yet, but again, the compounding pad feels really good, and the finishing pad, yeah, is nice and soft and really good. So that's it, guys. Those are the new items, and when I say new, it's at least within the last 6 months or so. From the Platinum Series available at Walmart. I'm very, very excited to see that Walmart is stepping up the game and bringing in like actual, because before they just had those weird polishers you would hold like this and kind of go around, really, really old school. I'm glad they're going into a proper DA polisher. Fantastic. The new microfiber packs, the rolls are awesome. Again, polyester polyamide blend. I don't know if that actually makes a difference, to be perfectly honest with you. I've always heard that, and I do always shoot for the higher polyamide. But again, we'll be testing that down the road. So that's it for today's video, guys. Just wanted to highlight these new items. Hopefully that helps you. If you're just getting into polishing, just getting into car detailing, and you have a local Walmart and now you can get all this stuff, I think it's incredible. Really, really cool. Getting more people into the detailing game. I think it's really cool. Am I gonna use this polisher as a professional? Is this what I'm gonna go out to buy? No. If I'm in a pinch and my polisher breaks down, it's nice to know that I have this available and I can get it. It's not gonna be my go-to polisher. Personally, as a professional, I have a lot of polishers. But I think especially if you're just getting into it, this thing is incredible. So that's it for today's video, guys. Please make sure to like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Turn on that notification bell, and we will see you on the next one.